Good morning, my beautiful woman, and welcome to another episode for Lingerie and Lattes, which is my take on the philosophy of love and how we're able to implement the best behavior so that we can grow our relationships into amazing, wonderful, nurturing foundations for our life. So, if you don't know who I am, I founded Vulcan Ability back in 2020 as a alchemical process for people to transmute their sexual traumas and create space in their body to experience pleasure. Today, I want to focus on this idea of when we start getting into a conversation. And this goes for both women and men, but a lot of the times I catch myself doing this, noticing what is the point of this conversation? Am I just kind of going on about this with my partner just to make myself feel better and to make him feel worse? And noticing our language when we are speaking to our partners, the tone of our voice, because words can be saying something and a tone could be saying the complete opposite. That's what happens with sarcasm. And I am definitely guilty of this. So that is comes off as also could come off as passive aggressive, depending if your words and your tone are in harmony. Saying, oh, it's completely fine, and then your tone, being a little perhaps irritated and high pitched because you're frustrated by the situation, and then adding on to behavior, which could be, if you're upset that, let's say, your husband left the toilet seat open, and then you're going around the bathrooms and like slamming them down very loudly. That is passive aggressive behavior, and once again, that's contradictory to your words of saying I'm fine. So catching our words and the tone of our voice, and also noticing, what what are the words we're using? What's the purpose behind what we are saying? Is it simply, again, to make ourselves feel better? Or the other option is, which is where I'm getting at here with the spiel, is this for a resolution? If you're already in conflict with your partner, then the next natural step would be to come back into harmony, to come back into a homeostasis within partnership. And the way to do that is through communication. If we're noticing that our communication period is, let's say, like this bull's eye of make myself feel better, aka make partner say that I'm right and he's wrong, or whatever the underlying punchline is that you're waiting for him to kind of get to with all of your sentences and your words and kind of your irritation and emotions that you're expressing. A lot of the times it's fueled by our own emotions, and those emotions don't actually come to a resolution. All they do is kind of add fuel to the fire, because your partner is going to go around in circles trying to understand, what's the problem, and maybe how to come to a conclusion, whereas you're not interested in the conclusion. You're just harping on the problem and wanting him to agree, yes, this is a problem. So let's take a step back. Anytime we're having any sort of discussion or irritation, very high volatile emotions is usually the moments to take a breather, count to 10, take those exercises we used to do as kids and implement them now because they're important. And just taking a pause and then noticing again, what is my intention with this conversation? Is it to find a resolution with this conflict that we've addressed now? Or is it simply to circle around the conflict and continue to add irritation, add emotions, and perhaps also misunderstanding into the mix? The reason misunderstanding would be a part of it is if we think through having a conversation that goes around in circles and only adds to your own emotions and doesn't actually focus on a resolution between two people. That's when we start getting into, what do you want from me? I'm sharing all these ways that we're able to take restorative steps and combat the conflict, but you don't seem open to any of them. You seem to be more focused on my past doings. That's usually, again, an indicator that our topic of the conversation is not really to resolve anything or not to come into greater harmony with our partner, but more so to simply make ourselves feel better. So, and I use this phrase, making yourselves feel better, in a very broad sense. This could be, validating a past trauma that you've had, being seen when you've never been seen before. But in a sense, you kind of know the direction the conversation is going based on how you're responding to your partner. And looking at ourselves is the first step in order to create and build a better relationship. Because if we can't initiate change, we can't expect our partners to reciprocate any change. Thank you so much, my beautiful woman. That will be all for today. Have an absolutely amazing, magical Friday, and we will resume soon. If you don't know, I have also shared a Dr. Money and Reimer brother case study in my Vulcan ability library. If you're interested in the original study that is underpinning the transgender movement, I highly suggest you to check this masterclass out. It is in my Vulcan ability library, which is $25 a month at this time. If there's any questions you have regarding this, please feel free to reach out. But this masterclass is really focused on the facts of the case and the experience of the patient, David Reimer, and how this impacts our movements nowadays. Thank you so much.